Welcome back to Extra Time. It's the two-part special for the day. Well, for us anyway. I don't know when they'll be uploaded. Stephen, what are we doing for this episode?
We are giving our football hot takes. I'm sure this won't spark any controversy at all, and nobody will be upset.
There you go. We are going through some of our hot takes. We might do more in the future.
Can I give one that won't?
Opinions.
Can I start this off today, boys, and give one that hopefully no one will find too controversial or get angry about? Even if they don't agree, they won't get angry about it.
You are so bloody politely. Of course you can.
I think if it wasn't for injuries, Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo, would be considered the best player to ever play. I think that had for injuries. Well, no, but what I mean is, like, compared to Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi or Maradona or Pele or whatever, I think Ronaldo himself, if it hadn't been for injuries, would be considered better than them all.
I mean, you also got to consider his attitude as well. He's kind of he likes a bit of a party.
But he was the only player who played for Barcelona and Real Madrid and wasn't hated by the opposing fans for it. When Luis Figo did it, he got a pig's head thrown at him. When Ronaldo did it, he still gets respected by both sides. He played for both Milan sides and Barcelona and Real Madrid. And
for me, I never actually saw him play. I think I was probably a bit too young for that, or I just wasn't paying attention.
To watch him, though.
So if I may, I can't remember much from Ronaldo. I've always had the idea that he was not in the same level as Messi and Ronaldo. Personally, that's what my thought is. And
I think.
No, I think there also like a stat where, like, if he kept scoring at the rate he scored in his prime, like, he could have absolutely blown apart the most goals scored of all time or something. I mean, I kind of just chatting shit off the top of my head. I thought I read that somewhere.
By the time he was 28, his career was pretty much over. He'd put on weight, his knees had gone. Another player similar was Marco van Basten, who once again was considered one of the greatest players and had to retire at 28.
Adriano as well.
Yeah, Adriano's stories just devastating when you hear
even Michael Owen as well. I mean, if he didn't
not on the same level as those guys.
Not on the same level, but he could have been.
He is one of the youngest ever recipients of the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, that's true.
And he was very good at Liverpool.
I can't really say much about this because, again, I don't remember watching Ronaldo play much. My dad reckons he was overrated. Shout out, Dave. What do you think? No, I know what you think.
No, I think he's fairly rated. It's just he just didn't have that consistency over his entire career. Like, he peaked quite young, and then obviously sort of slowly faded away.
When he went to Barcelona from PSV, my God, was he incredible! Mm-hmm. If you go watch the Bobby Robson documentary, I think it's on Netflix right now. They talk about Ronaldo, and you just see no one could stop him. And that's the thing. I do think that if it hadn't been for injuries or for getting fat, he would be remembered far better than he is.
For becoming a lardos.
Come on, he's known as Chubby Ronaldo, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, no, he's not as fat Ronaldo. No, it's true. I'm going to disagree with your statement in that case, but that's a naive disagreement from me because I haven't watched much of Ronaldo.
Yeah, you say ignorant more than naive.
We're all a bit too young, I think, to really appreciate him as a player.
Yeah, I do like going back, because I don't know if you guys ever watched it, but whenever the World Cup was on ITV, after games, they do a 30-minute documentary about certain players. So go through his career, show you. So I learned about Cruyff when I was 8 or something because of, well, not 8. What year would it have been? 2006? I would have been, okay, 9. And Johan Cruyff, he did a 30-minute documentary on his career. They had Zico when he was at Brazil. So I learned a lot about some players throughout history through that. So I don't know if you guys had the same, or were you kind of just a modern football boom?
I was modern football. I was more playing football. I was playing football since the age of 5, and I used to head the ball a lot. I do fear that I might get dementia at some stage, but I've been playing football since I was 5, and I used to head the ball a lot. And it's not getting what I'm doing it.
I got what you were doing.
I was always someone I preferred to watch football, but in terms of playing a sport, I preferred to actually play cricket. So I like to play cricket.
I got kicked off my football team for being too small. Scotland, they cared more about booting the ball than being aggressive and strong.
I was always hopeless at football. I was never
shout out to the GC. Their main centre back. Yeah, you heard main centre back.
I was the only sport I had a hope in was a racket sport / batting sport. So
see, so at school I played rugby, but I didn't play it really well because a week before I
Oh.
was supposed to start training for
Don't
the
get me
team.
started.
So
Don't get me
basically,
started.
I moved school. So then at 10 years old, I'm about to start playing rugby for the first time. And then someone in the first 15, like a few years ahead of me, broke his neck and was in a wheelchair for a year. And when you're 10 years old and you hear that story, you are terrified of the sport.
Mate,
It
trust
took
me,
me like 4 years to get over it.
I went to a rugby college. Honestly, it's not going to get.
You
into
heard it here first, folks. Matt went to a private school.
I only didn't want to play rugby because I didn't want to get muddy and
Not.
have to take a shower.
I didn't go to
God,
bloody
Stephen.
private school. I went to a state school. Anyway,
I played tennis a lot as well.
Yeah,
But let's go back to our hot
good
takes.
for you. Hot takes. Steven, do you want to go next or shall I?
I shall go next. And this isn't like a massively hot take, but I think this is one which will divide opinion. I think we should bring back 5 subs and also have more subs available on the bench.
I agree with the 5 subs. I don't know about... Well, you'd have more subs available on the bench if you were doing 5 subs anyway, wouldn't you?
Because at the moment, it's 7 usually, isn't it? It's 7 subs on the bench. I think that should be at least 10.
Last season they had it like 9.
It's like in a lot of the European leagues, they have like 10 subs available.
See, my only disagreement with 10 subs is then you do really start to notice the difference between the top teams and the smaller teams.
I disagree with that part. On the basis
I agree with the 5 subs.
If a manager's going to choose 5 subs, he's going to go into the game already knowing who he's going to bring on potentially.
No, not really, because depending how the game's going, like if you're losing, you bring on attacking players. If you're winning, you bring on defensive players.
If you got 10 subs, I mean, half of them are going to be a bunch of youth players, aren't they?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying there. I disagree with the having 10 subs. I say maybe 8. If you're doing 5 subs, maybe 8. But I do agree with more subs. I think it just means there's less likelihood of injuries, more recovery.
And you get to see more people play.
I'm against it in the long run. I'm probably for it at the moment just because of how compact this season is, and
yeah.
But then again,
I'm saying personally, even after COVID settles down and we go back to normal, I think we should have 5 subs.
The league itself is very close on this one because I think it's 11 are against it and 9 are for it. And I think it's the teams who are weaker who are against it, because if you're like Fulham, 3 subs, the weaknesses aren't as transparent. When you've got 5, there's a big difference. Like, look, if you're Man City, when you're playing the players they've got, like Man City's 5 subs are going to be like far better.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean, I get why teams are against it, but I also think just recovery and injury risk prevention.
So yeah, this is why I say it's short term for me, because it's, you know, this is a very congested season. As I said, we might be saying this differently in a few months, because at the moment, obviously, we've just had an international break for a completely ludicrous reason, where they've had to play 3 games instead of the normal 2 that come in an international break.
Yeah, and players are coming back injured as well. Like Gomez got injured.
Liverpool don't have any players left.
This is another thing just to add on. Again, this is a bit wild, but do you think a player should be able to be subbed back on?
No.
No, I don't think so either.
For sports like basketball, it makes sense. For like how quick that game is, and because that's a smaller court, but they're sprinting every time, and that makes sense. And it's a small roster. But football, there's no need for it. Realistically, the training's I'm going
to disagree with you.
Yeah, I disagree with that one.
No, I disagree too. I'll just throw that out there.
Oh, no, I mean in general.
In general, okay. I think 5 subs and more subs on the bench. That's my hot take.
Yeah. If Liverpool win the league, by the way, this season, with Gomez injured for a portion, Fabinho injured for a portion, Van Dijk out for the season, Salah out right now, Trent injured.
We all get it.
No,
Look,
I'm saying no. Let me finish my point.
Of course, you've got to shoehorn Liverpool into this.
Oh my God! Can I just finish my point, please? A point was, I don't want to hear anyone saying the only reason Man City couldn't keep up last season was because they lost Laporte. It's the only argument I'm saying, because if we can still play well with half our starter players out,
well, you don't have to worry about it because Chelsea are winning the league.
Right, pipe down. Pipe down, you black shirt.
They think I'm joking as well. That's mad. So yeah, coming back to the main topic, the 5 subs and the more benches. I'm against it. Anthony, you're for it.
I'm for 5 subs. I'm not for like 10 potential like players.
Whereas I'm for both. So we've all got different opinions on that.
So Matt, what is your hot take?
I'll tell you what you're both going to disagree with. Yeah, and that is my hot take. I know that you're both going to disagree with this. And my hot take is that Brian Clough is the greatest British manager of all time.
I'm way too young
that's
to
difficult. That's
think
very.
about that.
I honestly, I don't. Well, I'm not.
Let me give you a bit of
disagreeing.
background. So, let's talk about the main parts of Brian Clough's career, shall we? So he started off. Well, I mean, he didn't start off, but his main break came at
Nottingham
Derby.
Forest.
No, Nottingham came later.
No,
So
not his break. I'm just saying that's what his career is.
So Derby were in the second division when Clough took over. Straight away, he got them promoted to the main division, and eventually they won the first division after starting in the second division. Obviously, he's mostly known for his failure at Leeds United, which was absolutely great. He basically went in. He lasted about 44 days because he went in and he told the players, Leeds were obviously the biggest team back then, and he told them all that they didn't deserve to win the league when they won it because they were notoriously known as a very dirty team. So he told them that to chuck all their trophies and medals away. And then, eventually got sacked and didn't go well. But then he went to Nottingham Forest, who once again were in the second division at the time he went to them. And he, again, got them promoted. He then won the league with them. And then he won 2 back-to-back European trophies, which was
This was also at a time when Liverpool were dominant as well. He beat them when they were at their best.
Yeah, and obviously he won back-to-back European championships. Obviously, that's what the Champions League would be.
At the time, you had to also finish as champions in your domestic league. It wasn't a top 4; it was one team got in.
Yeah.
So back-to-back,
So that's my hot take.
I don't think it's even a hot take. There's a lot of people that agree with you. To be honest, the
big elephant in the room is obviously some guy called Ferguson. I've heard.
The thing is, there's others I'd rate higher than Ferguson. To be honest.
Ooh, are you gonna say Shankly?
Can I? No. Can I give you my list of the great British managers? Right. I'm gonna give you like a few names here. So
Neil Warnock. No.
I was going to say Steve McLaren. Brian Clough. So Alex Ferguson's on there as well. Bill Shankly, Bob Paisley. Sir Bobby Robson. Jock Stein. He won the the European Cup with Celtic, first ever British team to win it.
Busby.
Very good.
Busby as well, yeah. They're the ones I have in there.
Busby babes, yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones I have in there, and I don't know if Clough ranks the top of that list for me personally. But I understand why you said it. Sure. I understand why you've said it. I don't outright disagree, but I just don't know personally. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm going no way. I just
no. I see why it's a hot take. I'm just obviously when people say the greatest British manager of all time, they all go Sir Alex Ferguson, and I wanted to.
The only reason I can't fully agree with you is just because I'm too young. I never saw.
I rank Bob Paisley ahead of Ferguson for trophy hauls because Ferguson in 27 years won 29 trophies. Was it
29 of 28? I think.
Yeah, in 27 years.
Yeah,
Bob Paisley won 19 and 9.
Yeah, which is very good.
Including 3 Champions Leagues.
The reason I've chosen Clough is that Brian Clough he's got both teams, Derby and Nottingham Forest, from the second division to the top teams in the country.
Yeah, I completely agree with your point you made. But I think at that time as well, Busby took a United team that weren't very good to being great, and then Munich happened, and then he once again built them up. Shankly took a Liverpool team who weren't a great team, who weren't in the top division. He took them up and gave Liverpool the identity they still have. You look at Bobby Robson, what he's done in his career, we wouldn't have the Premier League without Bobby Robson because it was Italian 90 and England going far that made people realise it wasn't a sport for hooligans. So Sky invested in TV deals and TV money, and that's how the league became what it was. So I think Clough, while he deserves his place amongst the top managers, I don't think he is exclusively number one.
Have you guys seen The Damned United?
No, I haven't.
Good film. No. Give it a watch. Anyway, that is my hot take. And The Damned United's all about Brian Clough when he went to Leeds and all that. So, anybody else want to pitch in with anything more?
Yeah, I'm going to give a modern one here that we can discuss. This is going to be a player that's extremely overrated, in my opinion, and that is João Felix. Atletico Madrid. I think he's extremely overrated.
Interesting.
Or like he had one good season at Benfica.
And then it was apparently
they splurged
120
on-
million.
Yeah,
Yeah,
off of one good
Felix.
season.
How
Well, I
much
mean,
did he
it's-
cost Atletico? Was it 120?
120, yeah. And the thing is, like, look at this. He finished 30th in the Ballon d'Or race last year, which I don't understand how he got there.
Like, don't be wrong, he's got the potential to be a world class player, but 120 million on him right now, no.
But what I mean is, like,
no.
this is just to name a few of the young players I rank higher than him: Sancho, Trent, Mbappe, Frankie De Jong, Ansu Fati,
Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott.
Right, okay, pipe down.
Williams.
Imagine supporting your team and being criticised for supporting your team. I'd honestly think I'd rank Marcus Rashford ahead of him as well.
Yeah,
probably actually, yeah, because Rashford
there's so many young players I'd rank ahead of Felix.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to call Yao Felix out. Obviously, if he sees this, but I haven't.
If you're watching,
you'll probably be more angry at you pronouncing his name wrong. But
how am I pronouncing it wrong?
João Felix.
Anyway, I haven't seen him play enough. But when I have seen him play, it's not like I've been entirely blown away.
Yeah, he's not 120 million, 80 million at most.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's definitely not worth 120 million.
And I mean, for a team like Atletico Madrid, can't afford to be splurging 120 million. I mean, if it's Real Madrid, like, fair enough, but Atletico Madrid? Where are they getting that money from?
Real Madrid have not really done that in a while. They'll rather spend like 40 million on 3 separate players.
Yeah, but I'm saying Real Madrid can do that. That's the thing. Atletico Madrid can't really afford to do
I don't know if you guys have been seeing it, but Barcelona and Real Madrid can. Those two are broke. They've got no money.
Well, Real Madrid are always going to be backed up a little bit because of their ties to the royal family.
No, I know, but both teams right now are struggling financially. That's why.
Good segue actually from this.
I will finish with one more hot take. I don't know what you guys think about this, to be honest. I reckon Stephen might agree with me. I don't know. Anthony, not sure. The most overrated footballer of all time. The most overrated footballer of all time is David Beckham.
All time's a big statement.
Maybe not all time.
I agree with you he's massively overrated because
David Beckham.
No, I don't know of all time.
He agrees.
I don't know of all time, but let's be real.
I'm just trying to be outlandish here.
David Beckham's a brand. He's not a player anymore. He's not been a player since he married.
Arguably, he was a brand when he was a player.
That's what I'm going. Yeah. David Beckham is known for being David Beckham. He's not known for being a brilliant footballer. And he was a good player.
He could kick the ball.
He was ball. Yeah, he was a great passer, but that was about it. He was a glorified Charlie.
His free kicks.
He can take a free kick,
and his crossing is second to none.
David Luiz can take a free kick.
Like, he wasn't fast.
Yeah, but that's what he was.
He was an amazing dribbler.
His role. It's like when people compare Ryan Giggs to wingers. Like, Ryan Giggs was a left midfielder. Like, left midfielder and right midfielders' roles are not the same as left wingers and right wingers. Their roles were to get the ball and cross it in or pass it out.
Beckham is an old school right midfielder.
Yeah, because
if he was playing today, he would not be as big. It's like his role was like very old fashioned.
He wouldn't stand a chance. He's not fast enough. Well, it wasn't fast enough. David Beckham, if he looked like Phil Jones, would he be as big?
No.
That's
oh, come on, that man has aged like a fine wine.
Oh no, he has definitely. But that
he does seem like a lovely guy as well. To be fair, everything you see about him, David Beckham seems like a lovely man. He's not afraid to make fun of himself as well. Do we have time for some more, or we kind of?
I've got one more. Like, if we want to go, I've got one more which is quite spicy. It's pretty spicy.
You go for one while I think of one more as well. You go.
I think Frank Lampard will be sacked within the next 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say no, but I mean, if we look at history,
if Roman Abramovich is still in charge, then yeah. But also fan backlash. I think he'll be given more leniency. So I mean, I don't think he'd be fired for some of the other things managers have been fired for in the past. He'd have to be doing a really bad job to be fired, in my opinion.
I personally don't think he'll be fired in the next 2 years. I think eventually he could be fired, but I can't see it in the next 2 years because I think this is, like we said, this is a progress Chelsea are going through at the moment, and the current signs are that the progress is going all right. So
I've got a hot take as well that I've just
Yeah.
thought of. I had thought of it and forgot, and I've just remembered.
Go for it.
I think there should be salary caps.
Yeah,
Maybe even transfer fund caps to level out a bit.
Yeah, I think this is definitely something like I want to look more into and see, because obviously the MLS do it, don't they? So
yeah, but American sports in general do it, and they're like American sports. You can have a team that are bad, and in 4 years they're the best team in the league because of the way their system works with the draft and salary caps.
Do they do in like the NFL? Do they do like longer contracts, but more set money instead of like weekly wages?
Yes. So it tends
Do you
to
think
be
that would work?
It tends to be like a five-year contract. Let's say it's 50 million over 5 years.
Yeah.
And then there'll be a signing on fee. But what I mean is, the thing is, like, it's not that per se. It's more the fact that a team like Man City can offer players like 250k and Fulham can offer 30. I'm not saying that all clubs have to have the same amount of wage budget. I'm saying that Man City can't offer players more than, let's say, 150.
It's an interesting concept, but I think it would shake up the football landscape so much.
No, but I think that's good. Players would stop demanding so much money. Money can be put elsewhere into clubs to build them up.
Yeah, but at the same time, does that also make it more enticing for them to move on from a smaller club if someone else who's bigger, because they've got a bigger wage increase?
But that doesn't change it from now, though, Matt, because it's still the same. But my point is, a player, let's say Wolves and Man City are trying to buy the same player right now, and let's say Wolves can offer them 150k, Man City want to offer 300. Players go to Man City, but if both clubs were maxed out at 150, the player would then go, okay, what team's playing better football? Where am I going to get more playing time? Like money would be less of a factor in it. So like a player like Mahrez wouldn't be sitting on the bench at Man City. He might choose to play at Leicester and help bring them up and make them an even better team than they are.
I think does it also make a bigger gap between the smaller and the top teams?
It will make the quality of the Champions League
How would it
worse.
now, though? How would it, though, Matt, than right now? Because now there's no cap. Right now there's no cap. I'm saying put a cap in.
But I mean, if they got a cap, would you get a player who's on, let's say, 30 grand at somewhere like Fulham, playing really well, ask for a wage increase? We can't give you a wage increase.
I don't think it artificially boosts bad teams. Like, it would artificially boost bad teams.
But Matt, I don't think you get what I'm saying, because that's what's happening right now. I'm saying that teams like Wolves or teams like...
I suppose some of them do have,
some of the teams that aren't like the worst teams in the league, some of the teams that are 10th or 9th who are not getting to compete with the top teams because they can't compete financially. If you kind of put the cap in, if like I say, if Man City don't offer every single player they sign 200k, they're maxed out at 150, right? So that player then goes, well, I'm getting the same deal at this team. This team has got a project I'm interested in. I'm going to get more game time to improve as a player, and I can help this team get up to here. They might choose to do that.
I don't think it would never happen, though, because like players at the top will not want to take a massive pay cut.
Then you get the player power. I think players have too much power nowadays.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. I just don't know if it would work.
I think it's
it does work in other sports. I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's not like we've not had shake-ups happen. VAR was a shake-up.
Yeah.
I think this would be something where you would have to like try it out like in the lower league before implementing it in the top leagues. Maybe try it out in the National League or something, something like that, or League Two.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if we see this come in soon.
I think there actually are proposals to introduce a salary cap in League One, I think.
Well, I honestly think with the way football's going, it won't be long until you do get caps going into place, because it's getting ridiculous now. Like I say, we were talking about João Felix for 120 million. It won't be long until caps come in. The only issue is leagues. If, like, let's say the English league decide to do it and Spain don't.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It needs to be across the board. So it needs to be a FIFA decision.
This would be something that would have to be rolled out over like a few years. I don't think it's something you could just do it straight away. You have to slowly implement it over time.
It'd be like from this season.
Yeah, because it's just such a massive shake-up to the football landscape.
But and what means I have no issue with footballers earning lots of money because their careers are much shorter than the average working career. But I don't think you need to be earning like £5 a second.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Right, do we have time for one more quick hot take? Do you reckon?
I can't see how much time we got left.
We got about 5 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah, go on. One more.
Go on then. Right, last one. Go for it.
I've given one. I've given three. Stephen's given three. It should be you to finish it off, Matt.
Oh, sorry, I didn't have another one. I just.
Okay, Stephen, you got any more?
We can do a quick one.
I thought someone had a quick one. Yeah, go on.
I don't think Roberto Firmino's best position is striker. I think he's better off as a midfielder. Discuss.
He's a centre forward, though, not a striker.
I think his best position is an attacking midfielder.
You say potato, I say potato.
No, but my point is though, even though he technically is put in as a number 9, he's never really been a striker. He plays behind the two. He comes into the midfield, gets the ball up. So he's a facilitator.
How far back would you play him, Stephen?
As a number 10.
But even when he plays a false 9. He plays false 9 when we play 4-3-3. So he really is already playing as a ghost number 10 then. And when we play
I think he should be a full. He should be like an old-fashioned number 10.
Then who's the striker ahead of him?
Jota or Salah? Or
Timo Werner.
But I think like long term, like I think he should start to be transitioned from this false 9 into a old school natural number 10.
Oh yeah, no, transitioned in, sure. Just I wouldn't say that the last couple of years back up your point of him being a number 10 more than a number 9 because he has been brilliant in his role at Liverpool. He has done a lot of things that have facilitated Mane and Salah to play the way they do. He is a pin in the ass of defenders. There was stats where he had more tackles than a lot of centre backs at top teams.
I would say, to be fair, the position he played last year for Liverpool, I mean, it worked, didn't it? Because they won the Premier League and the year before that they won the Champions League.
And the year before that, we won the Champions League final.
Yeah. I'd probably say he's fine where he is. But yeah.
Yeah, I get the point you're making.
Yeah.
But people
like
seem to go,
he has played as a normal, regular number 10 throughout his career, like quite a few times. So I think Klopp.
He started as a left midfielder. He was playing with us when he first came in out on the left under Rodgers. Because people forget, Firmino was not signed by Jurgen Klopp. He was signed by Brendan Rodgers. And he's been played in the wrong position and everyone wasn't happy about it. He's not a
winger. He's never a winger.
And then Klopp put him in at the striker position instead of Benteke, and he's been there ever since. And to be honest, I wouldn't have it any other way right now. I would have him in number 10 so we can get Jota, Salah and Mane on. But only with those players currently. If one of them isn't playing, then stick to where he is usually. It's only with so if Salah's out at the Leicester game this weekend because he's got COVID. So no, he won't be playing number 10 then. He'll be playing in his usual position. But when all three are fit,
I think if he just put what is his optimal position, I think it's as a number 10. I think that's where he's best.
But the thing is, this is one thing I want to say. Liverpool, with the way the front three play, they don't really play in a normal form. Like, while the other two are wingers, they don't operate the same way other wingers do. And Firmino, while he's a striker, doesn't operate. Yeah. He doesn't.
They're almost
operate
like wide
strikers
either. Yeah, they were like wide strikers almost.
So that's my point. When we're talking about the standard positions, it doesn't apply when you talk about this Liverpool front three.
And we're gonna have to wrap it up because we're all about to basically fade out. So yeah, that was our first hot take video. We'll probably do more, I assume.
Yeah,
I've got more in the bank. I probably think of some more over time.
I'll probably have to start researching.
Yeah, when we're on the show and those thoughts just pop into your head, we can let them down.
Not together. Not together though.
Not together.
Why not, Antonio? I thought you liked it the last time.
You're both in a very dark room at the moment. I assumed you were in the same place. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. And thank you for watching. And we shall see you soon. Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.